folks, Michael McGee here. If you watched my potato cultivating video and you got down in the comments and scanned around, you probably noticed that several people were telling me that I had put these big shovels on way too close together. What really hit home is when the man that gave them to me told me I put them too close together. He said, I told you to put them on the second one, and I looked, sure enough, yes, he did tell me. I didn't pay attention. I didn't remember, or I didn't read it, or both. Anyway, I was plowing it way too close together, and now I've got corn needing to be cultivated, and if I'd use it like this, I'll absolutely bury that corn. So I've got to get these off of here, remove these, and put them on those, and see how that works. If I need to adjust, I can adjust, but I need to go ahead and get going because they're calling for a lot of rain, like 7 days in a row. And if I don't cultivate it before we go into that, the other side of that's going to look like a jungle. So I got to get with it. I'm going to lay this thing over so I can get to the underside and take these off the same way I put them on. One thing I seen right off the bat, these things move some dirt. Very happy to have them. He said I can adjust the amount that it's, how the distance it's throwing the dirt, I can adjust by the speed of my tractor. So we'll see how that works. I got to get this off first before I take this off, or it'll never hold still for me to do this unless I put it in a vise. So, being that I just put these on very recently, they're going to come off easy. Those, on the other hand, are going to be a completely different story. All right, I've got the little ones on there, so now I'm going to stand this up where I can get some leverage here. I got to take this one and this one off, and I'm not just 100% sure. This one's been off recently. Matter of fact, my boys had it off because it broke off. My boys drilled holes and put that back on. So that one I think is going to be fairly easy. Not so with this one. Let's see what we can do with a little pressure. What on earth is it doing? Is it going or is it blowing? People are saying, why don't you just get your impact out? Well, it's like this. My boys have gone to work and they've got all the tools. I have to survive with what little tools they don't need. Uh-oh, the whole thing is turning. I was afraid of that. Don't you want to line it up? Ow. That is hot. I can't have my fingers that close to it. It won't stay lit. Hunk of junk. Well, we'll try something else. If this don't work, I don't know. don't know what's wrong with it. It's blowing fuel. It's blowing some serious fuel. Let's see if we can use this to heat her up. It's getting a little too warm. A little too warm. This piece of junk right here. That is no good. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, I'm considering leaving it on since I can't get it off. I'll just kick that over there. That's pretty wide. I'll put my big ones on and just leave it and see what happens. That one did. That one did. And that one did. It's gonna work. They all broke free. So it's just a matter of getting it done. All right. Last one. Let's go see if it works. All right, it's the next morning. It's so much nicer to do this when it's cool. And because there's plenty of heat coming off the tractor, you don't need it to be 90 outside plus, and that evening heat is worse, way worse. So anyway, if it was going to be raining today, I would have done it last night as soon as I got the cultivators on, but we have all day today clear, and then after that, it's supposed to rain for a solid 7 days. So that means we got to take this seriously. We can't wait. I would love to cultivate the corn after it was a little taller, but if I wait and it rains 7 days and I can't get in here, these weeds are going to be bad. You might see some insignificant little weeds coming up. I see total devastation when I see those little things, because I know what they'll do. Those are morning glory. They have to be kept under subjection like nothing else. They can actually be almost shaded out, and still they will send up a shoot straight up the stalk of that corn, and they will get sunlight. They're bad. Almost impossible to stop, but you got to hammer them hard, because if you don't, they're going to completely overwhelm your corn, wrap it up, and there ain't much you can do about it. Maybe spray. All right, I'm going to get out here and start cultivating this, and just the first while it's just going to be see if the configuration will work. Those nice big turning calders or plows, whatever you want to call them, they're going to make a difference. I've just got to make sure I don't cover up my corn. I can do more damage in 5 minutes than I can fix in a day. So let's just see how it goes. I think I want to drop these deeper, which will pick these up a little bit, and I can do that by doing this. What I would really prefer is if this dirt could come in like this and cover up those weeds and yet leave the corn sticking out just like that. That would be a perfection. But as you can see, these little corn plants are so vulnerable because they're little. If dirt gets on them, it can really hurt them. So I have to be careful. I have to err on the side of caution. Right now, I'm just kind of getting a feel for it. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be perfect in any stretch of the imagination, but we have got to do what we can. That's the way I would like it to look. We shall see. Some of this corn stalk junk is not the best. That's why we plow it under. We don't leave it on top, because we don't spray. All right, let's see how this is hot today. Shift this whole thing over. Looks like right there. Okay, I'm sort of happy with my finished product, but as you can see, it is extremely painfully slow. But the question is it worth it? My answer is it is absolutely worth it. If you got out here with a hoe and tried to do it, you could work as fast as you want to. You couldn't do that good of a job or that fast. So I'm gonna go ahead with it, but I'm not gonna drag you through it that slow, because all I have to do is push a single button and I can speed up your viewing experience by 100 times. Let's do that. This is the same one that broke a couple years ago. Snapped right off. You can see where we bolted it back together to fix it. We used grade 8 bolts and even a little bit of JB weld in there, which didn't do anything. But now I've got a problem. My only saving grace is that this one here doesn't need to be there. I can take it off and put it here. So I'll have to do that. I like the way it's doing, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to do away with the spring style cultivator and get me a straight shank. This just ain't working good in this heavy clay. Pulls too hard, breaks them off. All right, my neighbors. I had to ask my neighbor for some help because he actually has a lot bigger socket sets than I have. I'm not 100% sure that the DeWalt's going to get it done, but we're going to try. This one here was replaced or taken off and put back on a year ago, so I think it'll come fine. This is the one I don't know about. These nuts on the bottom have already been ruined years ago, so there ain't no wrench. Work. Oh, well, there you go. Strong enough to break a large bolt. That's all I needed was for it to come off. I didn't need the bolt.
Probably a little warm.
Yeah. Oh boy. Now, this one I think is going to come off fine since it was just off a year ago. Let's hope. I asked the boys today how they put it on back when they did it. He said, "Oh, we don't have a socket that big. We had to use a vice grip and a long pole," he said. So, let's hope this one don't break. Oh no, it's easy peasy. That's what we were hoping for. Yep, Mike's over there. Oh. Yeah, that's Rodney. He's using that cultipacker. He was packing that whole field all day today, and I can't figure out what he was doing because he had a real nice stand of grass that he just planted, but it is not for me to know just yet, I guess. I don't want to break that one. Feels good. Now I'm got to get this off and put this on that. So I'm going to assume you've got the right ones here.
You want me to go grab a box wrench and put on the other end?
It don't have a, it's round.
Oh, okay.
The good thing is I had them off yesterday, so gravel will cause them to disappear. Every one of these has a big nut as a spacer right inside this big hole. Quite interesting. I think that'll do. Woo! Is my head in it?
It is now.
Why would she want to cut my head off, Adam?
Because you were bent over and then you straightened up.
Let me show the people why I had to do this. On the way over here, my tripod thing fell apart, so not only do I have to borrow my neighbor's tools, I have to borrow my neighbor to help video this. Well, I've got it back together. All I can say is let's go back over there and let's cultivate some corn and see how it works. I'll try not to break this one off. The reason this one broke off is because we had patched it back together, and where we drilled the hole to put the bolt, I guess weakened it. But anyway, I'm not sure that these spring type shanks are going to be the best, especially maybe this pulls a lot harder if it gets in the clay and really pulls. I don't know. We'll find out. I may be in the market for a new cultivator. All right, we're back in the field. We're going to get down here to where it broke, where we stopped. I'm excited about having these large rows in the middle. I can just bring my tractor tiller and knock this stuff out, and I won't have to worry about it. But here we are. This is where it broke, right in this heavy clay area. I'm going to just pull in here and get lined up and drop it in. All right, down she goes. So far, so good. Pretty good. There's got enough red clay in it that it pulls up some chunks, wants to fall over. Now as I get down the hill, the red clay is increasing and it's wet, so I really cannot get on it yet and cultivate it. I'll kill more corn than I do good, probably more corn than weeds, because there's really not a lot of weeds in this section. This just don't grow weeds a lot. So I've got the top and I've got everything that way. I may hit the end down there where you see the light colored soil on these two rows, but that's all I'm going to do today. And it's fixing to rain. I've already heard thunder. Humidity has settled in. So we've done what we can do. Hopefully it'll dry up so I can get over to the other side of the property and cultivate those cornfields over there. One thing I noticed about cultivating this, you've got to love the corn more than you hate the weeds, or else it's not even any sense of being out here. Because if you just focus on the weeds and you're just trying to kill weeds, you'll end up killing corn too. You got to be very, very careful and slow. I can't wait for this corn to get taller and have good stout stalks where I can hit it at a speed and heel it up, pull the dirt around those stalks. That's what I'm looking forward to. This here is done out of necessity. That will be done out of pure joy. But that's all I got for you today. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.